coronavirus pandemic has engulfed the world and brought drastic change to the entire nation.
It causes a shocking loss of life on a global scale and poses unprecedented threat to food system, economy, public health, and education.
Lockdowns of varied degrees of severity have been implemented by the countries around the world in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, having a significant impact on the educational system.
The entire world abruptly shifted to the online world when the pandemic started. Social media and the internet have both transformed into familiar environments for learning.
With the help of educational apps like Zoom, Gmeet, and others, teachers and students can now communicate and hold courses.
It brought out a dramatic change in the educational system, not only in the Philippines, but also in the entire world, that gave rise to the implementation of distant learning, online learning, modular learning, and most especially, blended learning. Due to a lack of materials required for blended learning, several students discontinued their studies. Not all students have the same ability to participate in so-called blended learning. Certain locations lack signal, internet, and device access. People today have become more practical in their daily lives, and some opt to prioritize their needs before their studies.
We are no longer able to socialize with people as a result of consequences of COVID-19 in schooling. Interacting with people is also one of the things that a student should experience. Students have different learning capabilities. There are slow and fast learners. Some will need guidance because they have difficulties learning on their own. One of the obstacles to blended learning is a lack of fundamental knowledge and comfort using internet tools. A lack of fundamental computer or digital literacy. Not all students or teachers are familiar with online resources or applications. They can have trouble navigating through it.
Students have a heavier workload because they must complete tasks and activities in person as well as those that are offered online. To complete all the necessary criteria, they struggle to manage their time. Some instructors can start giving out too much instruction and homework.
Students who have trouble motivating themselves could find it challenging to interact with the material on their own.
On some days, teachers will hold a face-to-face classes, and on other days, they will hold an online classes. But the big question is,
does it lessen or increase the amount of students have to complete for school?
Yes, it increases many schoolworks.
Too much pressure!
It's burning my head.
Some say that it is exhausting and very costly because some students are renting a house to live in. Despite being away from their families, they did their very best to just reach their dreams in life.
Every student deals with different difficulties in blended learning modality, but the pressure they feel from the tiredness and loneliness because they are homesick are too much to bear. Now here are some of the impacts of blended learning.
Blended learning is time-consuming and costly because some students need a place to rent for a meantime.
Not all students have this specific device to use in online classes, and not all have a good network connection, especially in remote areas.
When exams are given online, students who do not have a reliable internet connection experience pressure and anxiety. because they are preoccupied with thinking of the right answer while also being concerned that the connection may be lost or their devices may lack.
As a matter of actual practices, blended learning requires a different level of percentage in online and in-class settings. It turns out that not all learners engaged in blended learning have a sufficient level of motivation to study. For this segment of students, blended learning is a weak method since motivation is a critical factor here.
As any other method, blended learning has its bright and dark sides. The combination of self-paced education and face-to-face training can be beneficial.
The best education is not given to students.
It is grown out of them.